Welcome back to Call of Cthulhu. We just witnessed a man get strangled in the air and just die. And we're pretty chill about it. We're just hanging out. This light did some stuff and then the dude just died. Looks like neck snapped or something. He seemed to think that Sarah Hawkins was the big bad. She was the one summoning the evils. And he blamed her for it, which is interesting. Obviously we know Charles is dodgy. I thought Sarah was maybe potentially trying to stop the situation, but okay. Let's crack on. Let's get the fuck out of this place. Oh, shit! Fucking gas.
Damn!
Come on, man. Get yourself
gas.
together.
Oh, my head.
Bradley.
We need to move on.
How is Bradley back from the dead? We know Bradley died. We saw him die. Installed in the cellars of the Riverside Institute, he met Dr. Colden, a female friend of Bradley, who helped him to escape. Yeah, we saw some pretty crazy shit. He accused Sarah Hawkins of being the bad guy, yeah. Pierce finally left the accursed building, accompanied by Bradley and Colden. So this happens off screen, I guess.
Who goes there? That nightmare again. I need a drink.
These are grave accusations. Do you know what they mean? I have a duty to the patients. That man is toying with their lives. Let's add some points. I think we would have gained some skill points for surviving that fucking madness. 3 more investigation. 10 professional. Let's up our psychology too. Let's see what madnesses we've gained, sanity loss we've gained from that. We saw a ritual, and we saw Bradley die and then come back to life. The macabre discovery. Mental trauma. Yeah, and the death of Francis Sons. Unbelievably stable. The ordeals you've gone through, look at this. It's going down slowly, but you still manage as best as you can. It's nice and bright. The mansion. This isn't quite what it was like. Why would you come back here? We know that there's a cave full of cultists down here, underneath the house. They have direct access to the house. I'd go back to the police station or something.
You're awake, Mr. Pierce. How do you feel?
Like fucking hell.
Did I sleep long?
The day is only starting. It's fine.
How's our fugitive? Dr. Fuller hasn't reported your disappearance to the force, but that'll come soon.
Bradley?
Who else would it be?
You died.
Mr. Pierce,
We killed
are you
you.
all right? You look like you saw a ghost.
We have.
There are things I can't explain.
Tell us. What happened?
Now, we need to be fucking careful. We don't want to come across as crazy, or they might put us back. No, they won't put us back in the asylum. They just pulled us here. Yeah, we're not occult enough yet. Talk to Bradley. Talk to Colden. You should be dead.
You two know each other pretty well.
It's a tiny island. Everyone knows everyone. Especially since I'm a police officer and Marie's a doctor.
The chemistry is obvious.
I do seem a little bit stupid, don't I? Anyway, Let's get back to the
Yeah,
business at
why
hand.
did I talk about that, of all things? That was stupid.
I found a Darkwater PD badge. Lost a colleague recently?
What the...
Bradley.
Ethan?
I'm all right. I just had a... It's gone.
It's him.
You're sure?
His
If it's
badge is
important, it'll come back. But I can't explain why Dr. Fuller would have that badge.
The man's a danger, believe me.
What can we do, Pierce?
gone. What can we do? Hey, he's just a pain in the ass.
What I'm sure of now is that the Hawkins case isn't just an accident.
And what brings you to that conclusion?
The fact that Charles Hawkins survived the fire.
I don't understand. Mr. Hawkins was buried.
That's what he would have you believe.
I have a hard time believing you.
You were there, Bradley. You even opened fire on him.
I'd remember that.
Why would he fake his own death? Do
What
you
the
think he
fuck has
covered up
happened
his
to
wife's
Bradley?
murder?
I do
That's
not trust him.
Seems hard to swallow. Don't you have anything more concrete, Pierce?
Bradley, what do you remember?
I don't understand your question.
The night we went into the Hawkins mansion. You don't seem to remember the tunnels and what occurred there.
No memory of going down any tunnel. No, we were in the manor, then,
Then what?
the rest is quite blurry. I don't recall how I came back home.
And then?
I went to visit you at the hospital and called on Marie's help to get you released.
And you don't remember the events of the tunnel.
I don't. Let's talk about something else.
Yeah, there's something wrong with Bradley. The man's a mess. Yeah, I've unlocked a good amount.
Given the energy he pours into Riverside, I presume it was Fuller's creation.
His father's, to be correct. He was a surgeon on board the Scylla. He founded the hospital in 1904 with funds from the Hawkins family before he died and his son Thomas Fuller took over.
Two families inextricably linked.
Most island families are that way. Captain Fitzroy's father was also a seaman aboard the Scylla.
Powerful families dominating everything.
Yes,
Standard.
and as you could tell, Dr. Fuller is like some crazed emperor.
He wouldn't be happy if he knew we were snooping around.
I know the risks. I don't fear him. Do you wish to know anything else?
I found a file bearing Sarah Hawkins' name in the Institute's basement.
It makes sense. A powerful family like the Hawkins had the means to hide such a disgrace.
But everyone knows the Fullers have been taking care of the Hawkins for at least a generation. And all were aware of Mrs. Hawkins' fragility.
Perhaps, but no one would allow a psychiatric internment.
From what I read in the file, Fuller used her as a subject of his experiments.
Francis Sanders and Sarah Hawkins, subjects of Dr. Fuller. Why those two?
I found this at the Hawkins house. The doses seem insane.
Barbiturates. But these doses...
What do you mean?
Half the island is under treatment. What is prescribed here, however, is enough to knock out an ox.
Fuller wrote this
Crazy.
prescription to fool everyone into believing she was mad.
Or perhaps her husband wrote it.
Perhaps Charles and Dr. Fuller were in league.
A conspiracy.
For sure.
How dreadful.
I've seen the picture.
Dr. Fuller seems to be leaving a trail of corpses. Not to mention those strange machines, and chains, and tools of all kind.
Yes, I've been telling you that Fuller uses his patients as guinea pigs.
What I saw was more akin to torture than medicine.
Do you even hear what you're saying? Dr. Fuller is highly respected.
It's the truth, Ethan, and I'll prove it to you. I'm listening, Mr. Pierce.
Yeah, I mean, it was like something out of that Overlord movie, if you guys have seen that. It's pretty mental.
I met a Francis Sanders. Do you know him?
Of course, he's a patient. Or was. I haven't seen him since Dr. Fuller had him transferred to the basement.
He's gone.
He knew Sarah Hawkins, and that's what killed him.
What? How did he die?
I'm not sure I can explain it.
Well, he floated in the air and
Tell
then his
me
neck
how
snapped.
Mr. Sanders died.
He called him the Shambler. A sort of crisis. Let's just tell you how it is, man. We're losing our cool too. Let's bust it
I
out.
didn't see what, but something was there with us.
Of what do you speak?
Sanders said it was Sarah Hawkins' visitor. He spoke of it like a living being.
Sarah Hawkins? Have I missed something here? This makes no sense. I don't see how it can help crack the Hawkins case.
You really think she's involved? How could she have murdered Mr. Sanders?
Francis Sanders mentioned Mrs. Hawkins just before dying. It's no coincidence.
You know, Francis Sanders was a well-known art collector. I guess you can still pay a visit to his wife, Irene Sanders.
An art collector, you say? That's probably how they met.
Well, we
If
know
you
that.
plan on having dinner at the Sanders household, please spare the widow the tale of her late husband's suffering.
I don't
Wise.
agree. She deserves the truth.
But that truth may be biased. We don't know the bottom of it.
Let's stay prudent. Better to confront with the truth. Yeah, she's... What do we think, team? Stay prudent or confront with the truth. The truth is, the man had lost his cool. He'd ripped his own eyes out. He was in the basement of a German dungeon, experiment Cthulhu level monster stuff. And he like floated in the air and his neck turned the wrong way and he died. Or we just say he passed away quietly in the hospital. Either way, what does that help? How does that help the widow? Let's stay prudent.
You're right. Without a plausible explanation for what I saw, let's not jump to conclusions.
That seems wise indeed.
Very well. I'll go to see Francis's widow. Perhaps I'll find a link between her husband's death and Sarah Hawkins.
Don't end up in the hospital this time.
I'll do my best.
My leg is miraculously fixed also. Right, so we're off to investigate Sanders. Talk to Sanders' widow. I mean, they could just call it Irene. I mean, I always found that a bit weird. Sort of label someone like that. I like how they had a cheeky drink. Bit of piano. Nah, I'm off the whiskey, man. It's too fucking real. Yeah, so I think we'll have a shorter episode this one. It's a good breaking point, this, I think. But yeah, so a lot's gone on, right? We managed to get out of the damn asylum. We witnessed murder. We got gassed and we woke up here. And now we're just going to continue our investigation. Presumably, this Dr. Fuller is going to have the police looking for me, although I don't know if Bradley's going to cover us in any way. Yeah, I wonder if there's any more investigation we can do in the house. Yeah. I can leave upstairs as well. Yeah, I'm really not sure what to say, you know. I didn't really like the stealth section. You could really see that the AI was lacking. You know, I mean, there was a few times I should just been caught. I mean, I walked straight past people, and I got caught even once. I just ran around and then hid in a closet. They knew, they followed me up to where they could, and then they were like, "Well, I guess he's not here." So that was poor. I think I'd always prefer if it was either just really brutal. I mean, it's just, I don't know, just a little bit out of place, I think. I mean, I know you can't suddenly add massive loads of combat to this game. But yeah, stealth was pretty poor. It reminded me of some of the older Cthulhu games. But yeah, anyway, thanks for joining. Next episode, we'll go back to our usual half an hour next episode. And we'll go and talk to the widow, see what she knows. So thanks for joining, guys. See you next time.